Hey, hey. All right. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited for this. All right. So, welcome. I want you to know that this is a recording on how to save time and money because so many people have this life just happened to them and groceries just went up and eggs just went up and there's a million things that are coming at you and you may not realize that you have so much in your control. And I don't know, 2020, like what is it, 2023? Okay. So back in 2019, 2020, okay, one of those 3.5 years ago, I was sitting in the store parking lot and I was crying out, going, God, I feel like I'm always robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Story of my life was my money is spent before I ever make it. Does that sound familiar? Does it sound like you already know where your money is going to go before it ever comes in? Okay. So one week I'd make a $400 check. The next week I'd make an $800 check, or it was a 2 week check. So one week I'd make 400, another week I'd make 800, and the cycle would just continue. It was up and down all the time. And so I always felt like I was borrowing from this paycheck to pay for the bills that were coming out in this paycheck. And it just didn't work when it came to groceries. That money was gone. It was already spent. It was already taken. And I couldn't buy formula at the same time I bought ground beef. Okay. They didn't happen in the same week because my baby needed to eat, but my older kids needed to eat. So I felt like I was buying two different meals. Okay. Um, so I started just writing it down. Everything that I was spending. That's how I got myself out of this situation. I was sitting in the parking lot and I was praying. I was like, God, I cannot be here again. Like, why am I here again? I work really hard. All my life, I've worked really hard. Like, I've had a job since I was 13. I'm the second oldest of 13 kids. Like, I stopped school. I dropped out of school before I ever reached middle school in fifth grade. Like, I work really hard. 60 plus hours a week is a base week for me. And I got two jobs when I wasn't working 60 hours a week. Okay. It's like I found a way to work 60 hours a week no matter what. I get it. If you're putting all of your effort out there and you're spinning your wheels and you're like trying and you get ahead just to fall behind and you get ahead just to fall behind and you're not making any headway. I completely understand because I've been there. And I was going, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, just to fix this. I fix this. I work too hard. Fix this. And it didn't change. And I knew that there wasn't a problem with God not changing it. I knew that the problem was there's got to be another solution somewhere. So, God, show me how to fix it, is what I started praying. And that very day, I found a business online that I can do in addition to the job that I was currently working. 7 months later, I came home full time. And then I started homeschooling. So, not only did my finances change, my career changed. I got to see my kids. I wasn't just seeing them for an hour. Like, it happens really fast when you work on this. It's not something that should take a long period of time. This is not something for you to say, "Hey, let's save, save, save." Basically, you're hoarding. Okay? I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying let's get some things under control so we can make a plan and move forward. I'm not telling you where to put your finances. I'm not telling you what, savings accounts to take out or anything like that. This is just the basics for the beginners, for anyone who wants to get started and says, "Hey, I want to take control of my life, but I don't know how." So know if you have been in that boat where you're looking at your finances now because you just don't know how, we're all looking at our finances because something's not working and we just don't know what's wrong. You're not alone. You're not the only one. Nobody's, you didn't swim out to this rock and sit there and there's nobody around you. There's a whole ship full of people. We're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. And so, because I've been in this boat, I get to pull people out of this boat and say, hey, look, there's a better way. I found a better way. All because I said, God, what can I do? It was so cool because I like to use the analogy that he taught me how to fish. There's an analogy, a story that you can, that you've probably heard. It's give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for life. When I prayed, God, save me. God, save me from this. God, fix this. Feed my kids. So let's say he fixed it that week. He'd have to fix it the next week and the next week and the next week. So instead of fixing it one week, he taught me how to fix it. So I get out of this situation. And now, not only am I running a business, but I am homeschooling my kids, and we've started a farm, and we garden and cook from scratch. And so there's a whole journey that we're on that all started because I said, God, show me how. That's what I want you to understand is when you go through your finances, your numbers matter, not me, not mine. I don't want you to live my life. I don't want you to aim for my life. I just want you to start where you are. Okay? So this is not an easy, one size fits all. I understand that your situation may be completely different. You may make 20,000, your family may make 60,000, your, family may make 90,000. Like we all start where we start. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with where you've been. I'm just saying we understand that there's a problem. And so now it's got to be looked at, period. It doesn't matter what the problem is. We just got to fix it from here. Okay. So I want you to take at least a deep breath and say, ah, let it all go. Offer yourself forgiveness. Offer anyone else who did you wrong or stole from you forgiveness, because we just need to start where we are. Okay? The decisions that we've made in our life to this point is what got us where we are. And so now there's a problem. We've hit a brick wall. So we got to start from where we are and make some new decisions. Okay? That's what I want you to take away from this. It's very, very simple. You really just have to start from where you are. There's no secret. Okay. I don't have a secret algorithm that 2 + 2 = 6. My algorithm is just like everybody else. My math skills are just like everybody else. You pick up a calculator and 2 + 2 = 4. Okay. We're all using the same math. And so these are very simple. Yes, the spreadsheet that I sent out has some formulas in it, but it's all pretty simple. It's all basic math. Okay, if you take a calculator and you add 2 + 2, you're going to get 4, and that's the number you're just going to put there. Okay? Briggs, you're just going to have to wait. I have children here who, come here, who just, they're like looking at me like they want my attention.
I need to tell you something very important.
You're just going to have to wait.
It's very, very important.
Is the house on fire?
No, but
are you bleeding?
Now, why would one of my stuffed animals off my bed and it doesn't change the cut to the thing?
I'm recording a Zoom and I'm live right now. You're just going to have to wait.
Okay.
Anyway, so we all start where we start, okay? It doesn't matter where you are or where you've been. You just start from where you are now, okay? That's it. The biggest thing that I want you to know is that when you learn how to save time, you're going to learn how to save money, and you're going to learn how to save anything else that you do. Same thing applies when you save money. You start going, oh, That pattern works for saving time also. I'm going to start there. If I want to save time, then I'm just going to start with the same pattern that I started to save money. So it's all the same. Step one is write it down. It doesn't matter if it's time and what you're doing with it. From 8 to 12, I sit and watch TV. Okay, well, I know how to fix that. Turn off the TV. Put the TV in the garage. Walk away. Like, it's the same thing. Step one, when you're looking at your finances, write it down. I spent $5 here. I spent $5 there. I spent $12 here. And then when you start adding it up, that total in a month, if it's at the gas station, add it. If it's on fast food, add it because it all adds up. There's a really cool story when we first started with the cows last year. Brandon stopped at the gas station 3 different times with the boys and he ended up spending $12 each time. And I was going, dude, if we're going to come out here 3 times a week, 4 weeks out of the month, and you're going to spend $12 every time, that's a bill. How can we fix it? And he's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, I can buy a drink and a snack from the grocery store. It's very simple. It's not a no. You can't have a drink and a snack to go, feed the cows. You're going to be gone for 4 hours. Go ahead and get one, but get one and take it with you. And because we can't we can, but Brandon, because of his heart attack, shouldn't have processed foods. So we've cut out things like Little Debbie's. I just make chocolate chip cookies or muffins and put them in a Ziploc bag for them to take with them. They still get the same snack, but I make a lot of it home. So it's cheaper, for one. For two, it's a whole lot healthier for you. You can still have sugar, you can still have salt, you can still have whatever you want. We're just going to do less of it. I'm not asking you to stop anything or change everything that you're doing or start doing it a different way. I'm just asking you to start with writing it down because if you don't write it down, you can't see that it's a bill. Okay. I'm going to use my phone so that I can pull up my calculator. And I'm going to do, because I'm terrible at math when I'm talking, I can't think also. If that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to do $12 times 3 times a week times 4 weeks a month. That's $140. It's $144. That's a bill. Just for $12 at a gas station. How many times do you do it? It adds up. So what can we do to fix it? Because I don't put $144 in groceries just for snacks and a drink. Okay, they're spending $144 at the gas station for snacks and a drink, but I'm only spending about $20 at the grocery store for all of the ingredients that I need and a soda. Okay, 20 ounces. Like, okay, like it's not that you don't get it. There's just a smarter way to do it. So I'm not telling you not to stop what you're doing. It's not like you have to change everything. You just have to be smart about it. And you can't be smart about it if you don't realize that that's what's happening. Like if you don't realize that it's $144 and that's what you can save, and that's an easy way. We also saved $100 a month on the cable because we watch apps most of the time or YouTube. We don't even watch cable. That's $244 a month right there. See how easy it is to just write it down and then you can see it in black and white. Then you have the data and your brain goes, oh, let me make this work. But without that data, you don't have a way to say, hey, let me make this work. You have nothing to entice your brain to say, hey, let me fix this problem. You're just looking at it saying, I don't really have the money to cover this month, and my house payment might be too much. My car payment, it's the problem. No, the problem might be that you just spend it at the gas station. You just need to chill out on that. Find easier ways to compensate that in the bill, in the budget. Maybe you need to work an hour of overtime every week. 41 hours instead of 40 hours. Like, what was it going to take to pay off everything for it to matter? Okay. So we're going to do, really quickly, oh my goodness, my boys are going crazy in there. Wow. Okay. I can hear them over my headphones. That's why I got the headphones, so I don't have to hear them. But anyway, we're going to go through and I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me see. Maybe hopefully this will work. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is the spreadsheet that you got. Okay, so you have access to this. And I've moved everything to March just because we're in March. Okay. All right, so for an example, when I first started this business, I was making $400 a week was my base. Now I knew I had to make more than that in order to make commission, okay? Because I make commission on what I did also. But $400 a week was my base. Now 80 of it comes out in taxes or 401k or whatever you have. Now, yours may be, if you have insurance or anything, it may be more that comes out. You do that math because your numbers will matter on this. Okay, it will not matter what I have or had. What matters is what you have right now. You can't fix a problem if you don't start where you are. That's why you have a blank spreadsheet and you can fill in the dots. If you want my help, I'm more than happy to help. And there'll be an opportunity for that. Reach out to me. And we'll get, you can see the link in my bio even for that. Same place you found the spreadsheet. So, all right. So basically you're making $320 a week. Okay. It's what you would be seeing if your base salary is $400 a week and you have 20% taken out for taxes or 401k, you're going to see $320. Okay. I don't do it off the 400 because it's really not what you're going to see. You're only going to see 320 of it at the most. So really simply, I put in here, what does it cost me to get back and forth to work? Let's say gas is $2.25 and I drive 10 miles in the morning and 10 miles in evening. Okay, 10 miles there and 10 miles back. Okay, 5 days a week. So that's 1 gallon of gas. Depending on how big my tank is, you can do this math. It's very simple math. You have to know how much your tank holds and how many miles you drive to and from work. Okay, that's it. Anyway, so my tank, say it holds 20 and I drive 10 miles there and 10 miles back. So that's 20 miles a day. That's at least 1 gallon of gas a day. And gas costs $2.25 a gallon. So I do that times 5. So $11.25. And that's just to and from work. Okay. That isn't including the gas station or the grocery store, anywhere else that you have to go. Okay. Car payment. What does it cost you? The whole point of this is to say, hey, is my base what I accepted? Is that okay? Or do I spend more just to get back and forth to work than I'm making? Okay, because it matters. So I put my car payment in there. I put daycare in there. I had 2 kids every single week that went to daycare, and it was $235 a week. Okay, food while at work, and then say this is breakfast and lunch. $50 a week. That seems like a lot of money, but that's only about $10 a day. So say you do $5 a day on breakfast and lunch. Times it by 5. Like it's still going to be $25 or $50, okay? what you make has to cover those costs. Your job most likely isn't going to cover those costs. You're going to have to cover them. So is what you're making worth it? That's what you got to ask yourself and find out. Do you have vehicle insurance that goes into that? Do you have vehicle maintenance? Instead of having a $50, $60, $300 maintenance bill, just divide it. My car, it takes about $40. So I divided it by 12 weeks. So every single week, I have to save $3.33 to avoid having a bill in 3 months of $40. Because all of a sudden, I would feel like I have an extra $40 bill, but I don't. It's not a surprise that it's happening or that it's going to happen. If you plan for it, you can plan for it well and it not be a surprise. Same thing if you have to buy tires for your vehicle. How much are you paying? Okay. Mine is only about $500. So I just divided it by 52 weeks because if there's 52 weeks in a year, it's only $9.62. I didn't miss that $9 as much as I did. Hey, there's a sporadic $500 bill at the end of the year, right at Christmas time. Surprise! But if I plan for it, then I'll know about it. But I didn't know this data until I started planning it out. That's why it's important to just write it down. Now, your company, your job is not necessarily going to pay you for all this. Okay, your job is most likely not going to pay for your car payment or your daycare, but these are things that you have to have in order to get to work. And so it matters that you count them. And if they don't cover it, if you see my total was $578.20. Now, most of the time it was covered. Okay, because one week I may make $800, one week I may make $400 because I had commission in there also. So it balanced out, but it wasn't quite mathing out, if that makes sense. Okay, it didn't quite work. I always felt like I was robbing from Peter to pay Paul. But if I had just done a little bit more of this before I accepted the position, I would have known. Just because I think it works in my head doesn't mean that it's been on paper and I have the data to say, yes, that works. No, that doesn't work. That's my whole point with writing it down. It's so important that you start where you're comfortable, where you are. Anyway, I hope this helps. If your job doesn't cover all of the bills that you have, then find a way to make more money. Get a side hustle, get a second job, whatever you have to do to make the numbers match, to make the numbers work. The problem is going to run in when you're not quite making it and you start adding credit card to pay for things. That's just going to compound. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's say you have, $300. Oh my goodness. All right, there you go. $300 in your account. And you spend, okay, you spend $150 on your house payment. Okay, and you spend, I'm trying to find easy solutions. Let's say your electric bill. Okay. Electric. Okay, so say you spend $150 on that. Okay, everything's still working. Okay, you have $0 left in your account, but it's still working. It's still in the green. Okay, you're still in the black. And then say you make $400. Oh, keypad's not working. Okay, $400 on payday. And let's do it this way. 320 on payday. And because you want to treat yourself to something nice, like maybe it's a nice dinner, maybe it's, for all of your hard work that you've put in this week, okay? I think that it's very important to do something special for yourself, okay? If you've wanted something or you want to go to a nice dinner, reward yourself for working all week, putting all that effort in, okay? And let's say that's $30, okay? And then food and gas, it's about $275. But I put it in the wrong place. $275. You have $15 left for the week.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so let's say that your water bill or your phone bill or whatever comes up and you got to pay that. And so it's, say, $50. You're now in the red because you don't quite cover what you need to cover. That's why starting from where you are, putting what you have in there, your numbers will matter. I can tell you all day long that these numbers don't work, but they may work for you. Maybe you live in a city and you don't have a car. Maybe you take a taxi, maybe you take a bus, but maybe you don't have maintenance fees or tires. Maybe you don't have children, so you don't have daycare fees. Maybe your mom keeps them, so you don't have daycare fees. Like, I don't know where you're starting. That's why it's really important that you write down where you are, what you bring home, and what you spend. If what you spend is more, then you got to figure out a way to make it less, or you got to get a second job. If what you spend is less, then great. What you can do is fix where it needs to be. Because again, there might be some very simple fixes, like the fix with the gas station, where we can put that in the budget and get it from the grocery store as opposed to a gas station. Because we're just going to spend more at a gas station than we are at a grocery store, if that makes sense. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to let you go. I will get off here, but keep in mind that it is very simple. Hang on a second. I'm trying to stop the recording or stop the sharing. Yay! All right, so keep in mind that it's very simple to start from where you are, to put the data in for your budget. And it's really easy to total it, okay? It's just basic numbers. It's just basic math. You got a bill, you got an amount. It's very simple. But you got to start where you are. And if your job isn't paying you enough to get to work, then it's not worth it. I hope you guys have a great night. I will talk to you later. If you need help with putting your numbers in there or deciding what is important and what isn't, let me know. You can find the link in my bio. If you need more information on how to fix where you are, let's talk about it. I'll talk to you guys later.